Hey, good afternoon. Doug Treadwell here with Mountain Life Properties up in Highlands, North Carolina. Um, we know you're looking for properties up in the mountains. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend the summer up in the cool western mountains of North Carolina, enjoy those hiking trails and everything that goes with it? But in the current world, with everything closed and locked down, how do you get up there to take a look at a property and buy a property that you can't even visit? Well, the first step is to hire a really good agent, which we've got at Mountain Life Properties. But anyway, there's a lot to be concerned with when you're buying a house, and it's really exasperated when you can't even be there to go through the whole process. So once you actually find that home, that's really where the hard part begins, and that's true whether it's in the current situation with the coronavirus or whether it's just a normal circumstances. We were working several years ago with a couple, Dave and Lori. We'd spent some time with them looking at some houses and some different properties. We got a really good idea of what they wanted for the house and then how that would fit their lifestyle, kids, grandkids, that type of thing. And they ended up going out to Colorado without finding that perfect home yet, although we all know there's not actually the perfect home, but it was close. So they're gone. They're out in Colorado. We are continuing to look for properties for them based on our interactions with them, and we found what we thought was the perfect home. Called them up and said, "Hey, I know you guys don't want to fly back right now, but let's set up a FaceTime video. We'll go through the house, spend as much time as you want." Set the appointment. Went over to the house. Went through the kitchen cabinets. Went in the master bedroom suite. Looked at the bathroom, the closets. What was the view like? Really, we spent about an hour going through the house with them in that scenario, and they decided, you know what, that is the perfect house for us. So we wrote up an offer. We threw a contingency on there, which we can do to give them. Actually, at that point it was 7 days to fly into town because there's really no point in buying that airline ticket until you know that you have the house locked up. So once we got everything locked up in the negotiations for them, flew out. They loved the house and they were getting ready to fly back out, and they said, well, wait a minute, we've got inspections. You've got to have the general inspection, and we're giving them advice. You need to have, radon, mold. We've got to get the right closing attorney for you. You've got to get through all that stuff organized, which is what we do. We provide a concierge service for our buyers. North Carolina is an agency state. We only work with buyers as buyers agents. I can get into that later. Give us a call if you have questions on the agency state. But it's really an advantage to the buyers because it allows us to really work with you in a confidential manner to find out, what are you looking for, how it fits in with budgets and all that stuff. And all that information as a buyer's agent remains confidential with us. Anyway, they ended up buying this house. Everything worked out. We actually got some contractors in there for them to help clean up some minor issues on repairs that needed to be done that came up from the inspection. We were able to negotiate a deal with the sellers to make that a fair deal for everybody. We had another couple actually just about 3 weeks ago that came up from Miami. It was the same type of thing. They were down in Miami, found a property they liked. We spent, actually, Dan Dowdy spent about 3 hours with them on FaceTime going through the house with them. They liked it so much that they made an offer on it, came up, bought the house, closings next week, and they've got the house for the summer. So we really able, through virtual video and virtual showings and stuff, we can really give you a pretty good idea what a house is going to look like, what their area is going to look like, what the view is going to look like, and we can put that stuff together for you. So if you think you want to do something up here, don't hesitate to reach out for us. It looks like North Carolina is going to reopen on the 8th of May. And we've got a deal with the Park on Main Hotel. They're going to open on the 8th as well. So if you're interested in coming up or looking for a place to stay, reach out to any one of us on the Mountain Life team, Dan Dowdy, John Sheehan, Kelly Ramsey, or myself, Doug Treadwell, and we can hook you up with the hotel and get you that special rate as long as you're going to go out and take a look at some houses with us. Anyway, great talking to you. Have a great weekend, and we look forward to talking to you all next week. Thanks.